I think like I only hire people within our community. So they've got that invested interest in the community as well. And I tend to try and hire people that want to make a difference. I feel it's not just me. Yeah, yes, I am the, founder of Living Prospect, but I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for my staff. And look, we do a lot of team building, training. I even today we had our rental meeting and I gave them, it was crazy, but it actually worked out really good. I changed their roles. So like my BDM Lisa, I said, hey, you know what? You're Lourdes today. So she headed the meeting today. And then my accounts girl, Michelle, I said to her, you're Lisa, you're the BDM. And I made them like change roles in reporting at the meeting today. And then at the end of the meeting, I said, now that you've kind of put yourself in your colleague's shoes, write your colleague a note to show your appreciation for the work they do.
Welcome to the Property Management Podcast. I'm Kylie Walker, aka That Property Mum. Thank you so much for being here. And I am truly grateful. When I say thank you for being here, I mean I am truly grateful that you are taking time out of your busy schedules and you are sitting here listening to the Property Management Podcast. I cannot thank you enough. And I would actually love you to reach out to me. Let me know what you think about the podcast, or if there's any topics that I haven't covered that you'd love to learn more about, or if you'd even like to be a guest and you've got a story to share, please reach out to me. Either send me an email or via one of the links in the show notes. Would absolutely love to connect further with you. Now, if you're ready to be inspired, or you need some inspiration, this is going to be the episode for you. We're going to focus on building community and serving others in the real estate industry. And this is a lesson in building a business that I wish I had have known about sooner. I'm still not great at building community and relationships. I'm more of a lone wolf trying to always work things out on my own. And that is largely due to my childhood. I grew up in a family that we didn't communicate much, and there was not a lot of emotional support there. And what that made me do as an adult is that I don't ask for help very often, and I do try to work things out on my own. But what I have subsequently learned is that if you actually join forces with others, build community, collaborate with others, and learn from those who are where you want to be, you'll get there a heck of a lot quicker without a lot of mistakes. And sometimes these mistakes are costly. And the time it would take you to work it all out yourself will be so much longer. So let me share our guest with you today. Her name is Lourdes Piscopo. She is a true veteran in the industry who embodies dedication and passion. She's the founder of Living Prospect, a successful real estate agency that's been thriving for the last 7 years in Victoria. But she has over 2 decades of experience, and she has seen the industry evolve and has been a key player in its transformation. She started her journey as a Ray White franchise owner, and during that time, she considered stepping away from real estate, and eventually she dove into the coaching space. Her coaching experience was incredibly fulfilling, and she found immense joy in helping others grow their real estate businesses as well. However, demand from clients seeking her expertise was too great to ignore. In 2017, Lourdes founded Living Prospect, initially just working from home with a modest goal and listing and selling just 1 property a month. However, her reputation and commitment quickly spread, and the business grew beyond expectations. The increasing number of transactions led her to hire her first sales consultant, and she's now grown her team to 8 dedicated professionals, and they are managing just under 400 properties. Living Prospect is also stepping into new spaces like commercial real estate as well. And Lourdes is not only a successful real estate agent, but also a devoted mother of 4. And her family is palpable. And it's not just a job, but it's her life and her passion. And you will see that as we progress through our conversation today. In today's episode, Lourdes is going to share her journey and the profound impact of building strong relationships has had on her business growth. She's going to discuss how fostering a sense of community and serving others have been key strategies in her success. She's going to talk about building strong community ties and how that can lead to increased client loyalty, word of mouth referrals, and a trusted reputation in the market. These relationships create a support network for her that have offered her many insights, resources, and opportunities that have been invaluable for her business growth. So let's dive on in and take a listen to this episode with Lourdes. Lourdes, thank you so much for joining me on the Property Management Podcast. Before we dive in, can you share with our audience a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the industry?
Sure, no worries. So my name's Lourdes. I am the Director of Living Prospect Real Estate here in Point Cook in Victoria. I kind of fell into the industry. So I was 18 years old, fresh out of school, didn't know what I wanted to do. And I remember years ago, you'd have to go to Centrelink when you were on benefits and, fill out the form. I was just driving and I was like, I wouldn't mind working in real estate. So I actually went to a local franchise at the time and I said, look, do you have any work? And she said, did you see the ad in the newspaper? And I was like, no, I'm just interested in working here. And she goes, well, applications closed today. So she said, I can see if our director can squeeze you in. We are looking for a receptionist. And that's how it started. So I actually started off as a receptionist and then worked through every facet of the industry. And now I'm a director. So it's just fell into place. Had no idea what real estate was going to be, but it's definitely something I love.
So you actually went from receptionist to to Ray White business owner, didn't you?
Yeah, so I went from receptionist and then I remember doing trust accounting, did BDM, went into leasing, property management. Then I got into sales where I spent a lot of my time. And then from there, I became the director of Ray White. And now I own my own boutique.
Amazing. So what made you decide to get back in and start your own business? Because you had actually left, hadn't you, the industry? And then
That's
you
right.
decided, what was the decision behind coming back in? And talk me through
Yeah,
what that journey has been like since you've come back in as
sure.
your own brand. What's the difference been?
Yeah. Look, so to answer your first question, back in 2016, I decided I'm a mum of four. Having a business is quite hard. I was in business partnership and under a franchise. For me, there was a lot of pressure, to be honest. So I made the decision to get out completely and I swore that I would never do real estate again. I actually got into coaching, which I absolutely loved. I loved going into businesses and helping other business owners and salespeople and property managers. That gave me a lot of joy. But I still got a lot of people calling me and saying, hey, Lourdes, we're thinking of selling. Can you help? And I was referring them to, trusted agents that I'd, affiliated myself with. But it was never the same. And the feedback was never, I suppose, as positive as I had hoped it would be. And then I remember my husband saying, look, they're calling you. Why don't you just do one? If you do one a month, that's great. And that was the thing. Like I had a little office in my office. Sorry, I had a little office at home. It was a little study. I think it was like a 4x4 room. And I was like, yep, I'll just, do one a month. And the one a month turned into two. And then I got a staff member who actually was coaching. And she said, listen, you're coaching me, but I actually want to work for you. And I was like, no way. And she's like, yeah. And she said, instead of me paying you for coaching, just take that as my wage because I couldn't afford wages at the start. And that's how we evolved. And for me, opening Living Prospect was very much about not being your cookie cutter agency. It was about making it very personal and very transparent. So it's not just about us making commission. It's about, holding someone's hand throughout the process and really, I suppose, finding the essence of what they want and delivering a really good service. So that was my reason to do this.
So does that all come back to our topic today, like that you built a community, you wanted to build a community in the real estate industry of clients and based on those principles of serving others? Is that kind of
Yeah,
the foundations? Because I really love that. I think that's a beautiful
definitely.
foundation to build a business on, and by the look of it, it's your business is thriving off the back of that.
Thank you. But yeah, you're 100%. Like I say that if it wasn't for the community support, Living Prospect would not be here. I would say our business is about 85% referral. And that means a lot to me because it's just repeat business. It's easy business because you're walking in and you've already got your foot, forward and not really competing with anyone else because you'll come off a referral. So that means the world to me. We now just hit just under 400 rentals. And again, it's all been referrals. Our Google reviews have been really, really high and very positive. So that's also helped with new business because people look us up on Google and they're like, okay, I want to meet these people, and they see a point of difference.
Absolutely. So talk me through how you built that community and that referral network. What were the foundations of that?
I mean, to start off with, I have 4 kids.
Yeah,
So
it's a
I would
great
make
community to
myself,
start with. I've
yeah.
got 4 too, so I can
So you
relate.
get
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
So, school events, I would make myself known. I'd definitely go to all the schools and say, hey, I can offer community boards, which they all love, like the promotional boards. Very involved in sports events. And just initially, it was just the kids. You'll laugh at me, but it's a true story. So my kids would be like, Mom, I want to do a play date with so and so. And I'll be like, yeah, no worries, give their parents my card and, get them to call me. So conversation would start straight away. Oh, I got your card. Our kids want to catch up. Oh, I see you're a real estate agent. So that used to be a real good in for me.
Would you like a sales appraisal while I'm at the play date?
Yeah, while I'm here and dropping them off, hi, your house is beautiful. So that was really good. Obviously, my kids are a bit older now, so it's not as easy, but the kids are great promoters for me as well. Like they're very proud of their mum and what I do. So I do, like, I hear my son sometimes say, oh, Mum, I was telling a friend and their parents are thinking of selling, so I've told them about you. So for me, it definitely comes from my family. They are very supportive and they have, I suppose, been my biggest advocates. And for them, I say all the time, I do everything that I do is for my family. And I think people see that and they relate. So that helps.
Yep, I can definitely relate to that as well. One of my big whys has always been, was to put my kids through private school. So that was the reason that I have worked really hard, and now I've only got one left. So I've got 1.5 years left of school fees. So I'm very excited about that. But yes, I can totally relate to doing things for your family as well. And what about, and I guess that once you're out in the community, and people are talking and you're not from a really big place either. It's a smaller community, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is a small community and everyone knows everyone. So there's 2 major shopping centres here in Point Cook Town Centre and then the Century Lake Shopping Centre. They're the 2 major ones. And it's just getting known. Like initially when I first opened, like I went to every shop holder and said, hey, I'm here. Is there anything I can do to serve you? Like, how can we work together? So I do definitely reach out to the networking with, community, not only mums and dads, but your business owners. Everyone's, doing it tough. So if I can add any value to them, then I think they remember me, So I'll go and, make sure we always have lunch at different ones. So we're supporting all of the restaurants in the area, and just little things like that I find makes a really big difference. And anyone in need, like I get told, oh, you'll meet someone in the street who's homeless and, you'll give them a job. Well, that's exactly what I would do because I really want to give everyone an opportunity. And I think I'm very much known for that. So that's kind of been, I suppose, the foundation is that Lourdes is willing to help everyone and give everyone a go. It doesn't always turn out great because, sometimes I get very disappointed and sometimes I get really hurt and think, why am I doing this? But, I don't want to treat everyone just for the last mistake I made. So I do try and treat everyone very fairly. Doesn't matter who it is. I always say treat your tenants just as well as you treat your landlords, treat your owners just as as much as your buyers. So it doesn't matter who you are, you get the same respect and same service.
Absolutely. I totally can attest to that. And you're right. You do get let down, but you've got to just keep putting that keep believing in yourself, not changing to suit others, not getting that hard coal in your heart. Yeah, as I have been close to that a few times, but I love that idea as well of serving others. And, something that stuck with me, I can't remember a coach or what where I read it somewhere in one of my personal development endeavors. But that saying that, you don't give to get, you just give. Like you don't get, whereas you find a lot of relationships in real estate in particular are very transactional.
Yeah.
I'll sell your property, you'll pay me the commission. There is not a lot of, there is not that service mentality in there. So that's, I guess, a core value of yours. If you are anything like me, you think you know your rent roll numbers. Well, I thought I did until I had a rent roll health check, and I was quite literally shocked. The money I was leaving on the table was astounding. And this is not something that I'm proud to admit. There were missed management fees, let fees, advertising, and lease renewal fees not being charged, and properties even without bonds. And all of this was happening despite monthly audits being conducted in my business. So how did I uncover all these gaps in my valuable income? Well, I had a rent roll due diligence from my good friend Tazi, aka the Rent Roll Queen and founder of the Tazi Way, a specialist in rent roll due diligence, business valuation and management rights. The Tazi Way is the innovative force driving the real estate industry. With 25 years of business and real estate acumen, they find gaps and risks in your agency to find undiscovered value. If you'd like to book your business in for a rent roll due diligence, head to the link in the show notes and mention That Property Mum for a 10% discount. If you're ready to be a super organised, focused and productive property manager, buckle up, because Colmio is about to revolutionise the way that you work. Colmio is the driving force behind property management excellence in residential real estate. Now picture this, a comprehensive end-to-end system designed to be the beating heart of your property management tasks, manage your properties, owners and tenants, and handle payments, inspections, and even marketing listings without leaving the platform. Colmio is designed to be an all-in-one solution to all your property management needs. And here's the game changer. Colmio isn't just software. It's been awarded the most innovative prop tech scale up in 2023. Yes, you heard it right. Colmio has been recognised for their groundbreaking approach to property management software. How good is that? So property managers, whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, dive into the future of property management with Colmio. You can book in a demo with the team today and go in their weekly draw for a Prezi gift card worth $100. All you need to do is to head to the link colmio.com/thatpropertymum, and Colmio is KOLMEO.
That is 100%. Even when we first started, our, I suppose, motto was more than just a transaction. I just wanted it to be more than just transaction, and I wanted people to see it very differently. I mean, real estate, the industry is not known for good things. And I really wanted to be that voice of change if I could be, and just show that there is a difference. And that's very, very important to me.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you do in your business, and because you've got a good team as well. So what are some of the things that you do to, I guess, build that service culture and that community culture in your team and in your greater community?
Yeah, I think with the team especially, it starts from day one. So even at the interview process, I always believe, Kylie, you can teach real estate. Yeah, that's easy. How do you teach building rapport? How do you teach, building that trust? That has to come from the person. So even the moment I meet someone, as much as I'm willing to give everyone, a really good go, you do have to have the same morals and values that I share. So it does start from there. Then I think, I only hire people within our community. So they've got that invested interest in the community as well. And I tend to try and hire people that want to make a difference. I feel it's not just me. Yeah. Yes, I am the, founder of Living Prospect, but I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for my staff. And look, we do a lot of team building, training. Even today we had our rental meeting and I gave them, it was crazy, but it actually worked out really good. I changed their roles. So Like my BDM, Lisa, I said, hey, you know what? You're Lourdes today. So she headed the meeting today. And then my accounts girl, Michelle, I said to her, you're Lisa, you're the BDM. And I made them like change roles in reporting at the meeting today. And then at the end of the meeting, I said, now that you've kind of put yourself in your colleague's shoes, write your colleague a note to show your appreciation for the work they do. So it was beautiful. And at the end, like everyone's hugging each other. And it's just like, they were like, we did not notice, or we didn't actually, you take people for granted sometimes. Yeah. You just, oh, that's what they do. And it just was a moment to step back and have gratitude. And they loved it today. Like I could see the smiles and just being there to say, you know what, thank you so much. And I didn't realize that you did that. But now that I was in your shoes for 2 hours, oh my God, you do so much. And it made such a big difference. So little team things like that. We have a gratitude board. So everyone writes something they're grateful for every morning. So there's a lot of like, yeah, I suppose love and respect. And, you know, we have our bad days too, don't get me wrong, but we're there to support and pick each other up.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I got goosebumps when you're talking about that. That is that. Yeah, that's so beautiful that you guys can connect on that much deeper level. It's not just, you spend 8 hours a day together. Like it's not just
Yeah,
turning up to work, doing your job, ignoring each other, and then going home at the end of the day. I don't think that's how you build a healthy business culture. But and I'm not an expert on that, and I'm not been very successful, to be fair, to be honest, brutally honest,
yeah.
on building a great business culture. So that's has been a struggle that I have had. I mean, I've tried lots of different things, and I've gone from teams of 30 down to teams of 4, and I've not quite nailed it at any level of that. So I take my hat off to you. I think you really are
Thank you.
nailing it, and you're a beautiful person inside and out. Your warmth is just radiating everywhere. So we actually met
Thank you.
at a, what do you call it, like a retreat.
Solitude
Solitude
retreat. Yeah.
retreat. Yes, yep. And had a great connection there. So, and is that something that those sorts of things, like obviously being busy, mum of 4, running a business and teams and selling properties and taking yourself away from the business, is that really something that you cherish and you really need to do?
It's one of the hardest things for me because I'm a bit of a control freak. But I have learned for my personal well-being, I need to do things like that. The biggest thing, so I've had some health issues and a lot of it came from stress.
Can
So
relate.
this year especially, I've learned I need to delegate. I've got people I trust. I need to trust them. It got to the point where I had a minor stroke, and I
Oh
don't share
no.
that with many people because, I'm big, I'm brave, and I can run the world. I'm
I'm
Wonder Woman.
so sorry to hear that. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
but
Yeah.
the reality hit, and it was definitely one of those silent things where I felt alone, and then looked at it and thought, you know what, this is all my fault because I can't run the world. I can't do everything. And that reality of, God, things could have been worse. And I may not be here for my family, my kids who mean the world. And I say that I do everything for them, and I could be jeopardizing all of that. So I think, the cookie crumbled, I suppose, is the best way, or the light bulb moment happened. And I've just learned, you know what, I need to trust what doesn't get done today can get done tomorrow. And I need to be the person to lead by example as well. So, I have mums that work for me. So I want them to not kill themselves either. I want them to be the best they can be. So now I've kind of taken the approach as a leader. I'm almost like a coach. I want to be a mentor. I want them to see, we can succeed, but there's also personal time, and, well-being and health is very important.
Absolutely. I can totally relate to the health issue from stress. I've had a few of those moments myself, and the light bulb moments do definitely kick in. But what I have found, because mine was a couple of years ago now, my heart condition, I'm now feel like I'm getting. I had a couple of years really good, and now I feel like It's like almost like my
Doing it
body.
again.
Yeah, my body. That's my natural state, is to be that highly elevated, activated nervous system. Get stuff
Yeah.
done, and yeah, I find I just have to constantly remind myself every single day just to shut down. Wind, stop doing stuff. Take that
Yeah.
do those self-care things. Like tonight, I'm actually heading off to do a sauna, which I haven't done in a couple of
Beautiful.
weeks. So I'm booked
Yeah.
that in. So I'm going to go off and do that. So I
And
think,
to do it without guilt is really important. I hold guilt around everything if I'm doing it for myself. But this year I was like, no. So it's awesome you're doing the sauna. I actually go do a beach swim every morning. So that's my thing and that's my reset. It's crazy. And people tell me that I'm mad, but
it'll be
it's actually,
freezing.
it's freezing, definitely freezing. But it's one of those things that I almost like at the moment I emerge in that water, it's like, okay, that's my reset. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I think you just got to find that thing that really makes you switch. Because otherwise, yeah, like you said, it's like that constant, yeah, winding and winding and winding. And you get to a breaking point and, we shouldn't get to there.
No, absolutely not. And I think thank you so much for sharing that personal side, because I think the more people that hear that, it does actually happen if you do push yourself too hard. Like
Definitely.
your body just cannot take any more
Yeah.
at some point. So don't get
And
to
I
that.
think we're so good at ignoring them, ignoring those little signs. Because if you're anything like me, I would feel, okay, something's not right, but I'm like, no, no, I can do it and I can keep going and I can keep going. As long as the kids are okay, as long as the business is running, and I totally forgot that there's my health. I totally ignored it. And like I said, it was a big wake up call for me.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, lucky that it's turned out. You've got a second chance.
You've got a second
And
chance.
yep. And you can,
And I've learned
make
to
those
reach
changes.
out to others as well. So, just meeting you, Kylie, like you're a great support. We can share the same story and help each other. And there's just so many people, especially in the real estate industry. And I find, especially with directors, it can be a very lonely place because it's so competitive. And I'm like, let's not be competitive. Let's learn to collaborate and work together. And as soon as you do that and have that shift, Point Cook's not huge, but I always say there's enough to go around for everyone. Like, let's just work together. And I think, yeah, as soon as you make that shift, things change. Things just happen by themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about that mindset, isn't it? It all comes back to that mindset. So, and I do love that. I mean,
Yeah,
you've built your own business off the back of that community and that serving others, and I think that extends into the wider real estate industry as well. So we definitely need more people like you, and we should be learning from lessons like yours as well. So, thank you so
thank
much for
you.
sharing that. Now, I just want to know, I love personal development, and I'm always asked this question if you've listened to any of my podcast episodes. What is
Yeah.
a personal development tool, podcast, book that you can share with anyone listening?
Oh my goodness, I have so much. But look, from the moment that I opened Living Prospect, my biggest thing is to always have a coach. Because for me, I just needed someone in my corner that wasn't family, that wasn't working in the business, and that I could just reach out to at any time and say, hey, this is going on in my life, or hey, what would you do? And that's probably been one of my biggest takeaways because I do need that extra support. Reading books, I mean, that's something I love. I really, really love reading books. Probably my best book would be Wayne Dyer, who's one of my favorite authors. It isn't real estate related, but it is about self, love and just that respect and affirmations. And that gets me through a lot, just that belief system. And like you said, it is definitely, your mindset is so important. So if I wake up and I'm feeling like I can conquer the world, I usually can. If I wake up feeling it's all too hard, then it's all too hard. So
Yep.
yeah, Wayne Dyer is really someone who I like listen to podcasts and I read a lot of his books and it's just that inspiration that I need.
I'm just going to write that one down, Wayne Dyer.
Yeah.
Now, how can anyone listening reach out to you? What's the best place to contact you? Are you on socials? I'll leave the links in the show notes though.
Yeah. So I am on socials. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, as Lourdes and on Facebook, Lourdes76 on Instagram, and then my website. Yeah, I'm happy to share my email and phone number. If I can help anyone, I'd definitely encourage anyone to give me a call, have a chat, whatever they need. I'd love to be able to serve and help.
Amazing. Lourdes, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast.
Thanks for the opportunity, Kylie, and thanks for all you do as well.
Can I ask you a quick favour before you leave this episode? Now, we all know how important reviews are for businesses these days, and mine is no different. If you could spare just a minute to follow, rate and review this podcast, it would mean a lot to me. In fact, what would get me super excited is if you share this podcast with someone in the industry who you think might need to hear some of the episodes right now. And if you'd like to find out more about working with me or any of the products I have to help you start, grow or scale your property management business, head to my website, thatpropertymum.com.au, or check out the links in the show notes.